Out of gas? Let's fill those old cans. Today, let's refill propane cans. We use a lot of these. We use them when we go camping with our camping stove. During the winter, we have a little space heater. It goes through these pretty quick when it gets chilly. When you refill your big propane tanks, they cost almost nothing. So, add the two together, we're getting these for like 50 cents or $1 instead of $5 to $8 each. Another great thing about refilling these cans is we keep them out of the trash. Now, let's go refill these. So today, I'm going to show you how I refill them and keep us stocked. For our project today, we're going to need empty 1-pound tanks, a propane refill valve, a weight scale to make sure we don't put more than 1 pound in each can, 5 gallons of propane, and a pressure release tool, which I have used a vice grip with a nail in it. And last but not least, a crescent wrench or the right size wrench to ensure that your valve is on tight. Keep all of ours fresh and clean. Look for non-rusty ones. Make sure the valves inside are good. And that's it. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is install our little valve. Now, what's most important here is to make sure your threads are good, but this little rubber O-ring. So make sure your piece is in good order and your O-ring is ready. Next, we're going to install our valve, which is reverse threaded. So we're going to turn it counterclockwise. This is to ensure that when you're taking your bottle off, you do not unscrew it, the whole thing from the tank, when there might be pressure on it. It's a brass fitting. Don't over tighten it. The rubber seal does most of the work, but make sure it's on there so it doesn't untighten when you're putting your new bottle on. The next step is preparing our bottles. When they're empty, they're full of air, and the air is not going to allow us to fill it. So the first thing we do is releasing all the extra air. There's a side valve for this, but everyone's told me these get bent and messed up. But inside is a larger valve, and we just press it, releasing all the extra air. After we've released all the extra air out of our empty propane tank, we're going to weigh it. This is the weight of the empty tank. Remember, we don't want to put more than 1 pound in it. We set it to 0. Now we can weigh this as we go to make sure we don't overfill the tank, which could be dangerous. Next step is we're going to install our propane can, which threads in the normal clockwise direction. Now this has the potential of unscrewing our valve we put on, so we're going to hold that snug while we tighten it, not over tightening anything. Now we're ready to give her a little flip. It's called gravity fed filling, so we turn it upside down. That allows all the propane to sink to the bottom. And then we can turn on the valve. And we'll see how much propane we get in this first time. When we're done, we'll weigh it. Okay, I hear almost nothing happening. And turn it off before we flip it over. Now that the valve's off, I'm going to double check the valve. It's off. This time as I unthread it, it's in the reverse direction, which would only tighten the valve. And my can feels almost empty. Still got a lot of air pressure in there, so let's weigh it again. We've got the 13.1, which was the weight of the can. And now, with the added propane in it, we've got to 6.6. So we've got lots of room. And we are simply going to bleed in a well-ventilated area. The extra air out and fill it again. Install canister. Tighten with a wrench supporting the valve. Flip. Open the valve. I like to work on a nice waist-high table so it's easy to flip the propane around and be really steady. Don't want to drop anything. Wait to hear it slow down. Turn off valve. Flip. Double check valve for safety. Remove canister. And weigh. Bleed and repeat if needed. From 6.6 to 13. We can fit 2.5 more ounces in there. Bleed it one more time. Again, that lets rid of all the gas pressure that's not allowing the liquid propane to go in. And now we can fill it the rest of the way. Always work with extra caution and care when refilling your canisters. You can actually hear the propane gets quieter, so not much more room. Our goal is 16 ounces, never more. Okay, one more try. Let's see where we got. 17, which is actually 1 ounce too much. To be on the safe side, we're going to drain that extra ounce out. This is propane coming out everywhere, so make sure you're outside or in a well-ventilated area. It's really important. It's an outside project. Go open your garage doors, sit outside. I put my camp table outside and we're ready to go because it smells like propane. Let's weigh it again. 1 pound of propane. Always be careful and use extra caution when recharging your propane canisters. Only fill canisters in good condition. Do not overfill. These are 1 pound or 16-ounce canisters. Drain extra gas if overfilled. Make sure your refill valve and rubber O-ring are in good repair. Work outside or in a very well-ventilated area with a filter mask. Do not work near open flames or sparks. I also recommend safety glasses. And that's it for the day. Leave a comment below, let me know what you think, and please subscribe, support my channel. Stay tuned for more van life, living in the woods, off the grid, do-it-yourself, resourceful things. Hope to see you around.